Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Today's video is going to be our weekly Braves review. The Braves had a pretty good week last week. They went 4-2 for the week, which the way the Braves have played this year, going 4-2 for a week is phenomenal for the Braves. They won 2 out of 3 against the Mets on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then they won 2 out of 3 against the Marlins on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They scared me because they actually lost the Tuesday game to the Mets, but then they came back and won on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they beat the Marlins on game 1 on Friday, and then lost game 2 against the Marlins on Saturday. And the way the Braves have played this year, I thought, man, they're going to take 2 out of 3 from the Mets and then turn around and lose 2 out of 3 against the Marlins. And then I was even more sure that was going to happen when the Marlins scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th on Sunday to go up 7-3 because they were up 4-3 when the inning started. And then the Braves came back and scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th to get it tied at 7 apiece. And then the Braves won it in the bottom of the 10th on a Max Fried walk-off single. They had to use Max Fried because they had used everybody else that they had, and luckily, thankfully, Max Fried is actually a pretty good hitting pitcher, and the Braves won 8-7. Now, they did make another roster move. Kyle Muller, who's pitched pretty good so far in his 2 starts. He's only starting because Tucker Davidson got hurt, and he pitched again on Saturday and only gave up 3 runs, so he wasn't bad, but the Braves only scored 2. They sent him back down to Gwinnett and called up former Milwaukee Brewer Orlando Arcia to try to give him some time in left field, since none of their left fielders are actually consistently hitting. And Arcia had a couple of good years with the Brewers, and since the Braves have an off day on Thursday, they will not need Kyle Muller again until after the All-Star break. The Braves are actually in the midst of a 3-game series right now against the Pirates. They lost last night, but I'm not going to talk about that because that'll be part of next week's Braves Weekly Review. But they have the Pirates again tonight and tomorrow, and then after the off day Thursday, they will finish up the first half of the regular season against the Marlins on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So right now the Braves currently sit 3.5 games back of the Mets as the week starts. Now the Braves did lose last night and the Mets won, so now they're 4.5 games out, but when the week started they were 3.5 games out. They have played a little bit better as of late. Let's just hope it continues. They've got to figure out what's wrong with Shane Green. He just continues to get drilled, and I hate it because he was so good last year, and they didn't want to re-sign him because he wanted so much, and they didn't want to pay him that much, but they finally signed him because nobody else in the bullpen could consistently get outs. So they finally re-signed Shane Green, and his ERA right now is like 12. So he's been absolutely atrocious. He says he feels fine, but something has to be wrong for him to fall off a cliff that much in 6 months' time. And I know I've already mentioned the Mike Soroka thing, but just in case you didn't watch last week's Braves review, I'll say it again. I have a feeling that Mike Soroka is just going to be an injury-prone pitcher. He's going to be the next Mark Pryor. He's going to be the next Kerry Wood, and I hate that because he's got so much talent. But when you've tore the same Achilles 3 times in 6 months, and this time it happened when you're just walking to the clubhouse, then there's something about your body that tells you and tells me that he just ain't made to be a professional athlete. I'm not saying he's never going to pitch again, but I don't think the Braves should ever seriously consider signing him to some kind of long-term contract, because I think he's going to miss more games than he's ever going to pitch. Now they're saying he probably, more than likely, won't be ready at the start of next year. So the Braves just need to go ahead and realize Mike Soroka is not going to be there for a long time. He's one of those guys that's probably going to make 13 or 14 starts a year, and then the rest of the time he's going to be hurt. But speaking of Kyle Muller, I don't know if there's any truth to the rumors or not, but there is a rumor going around that the Yankees are willing to trade Aaron Judge to the Braves, because the Yankees are just like the Phillies. I know I mentioned the Phillies in my video on Sunday, I believe it was, how they're paying basically 5 players over $200 billion. Well, the Yankees are just about in that same boat. They're paying, I don't know how much money, to Garrett Cole, Aroldis Chapman, Giancarlo Stanton, and Aaron Judge. And we know Giancarlo Stanton is always hurt. And Garrett Cole and Aroldis Chapman have just fallen off a cliff. Aaron Judge really is the only Yankee that's doing anything this year, but nobody's talking about it because they're pretty much a 500 team. They're 10 games out in their division, but they're in 4th place, and it's the halfway point of the season. So I think it's kind of obvious that they're a 500 team. But Aaron Judge is hitting, I believe, .289 with 19 home runs. But there's a rumor going around that if the Braves would offer up Kyle Muller and the guy they called up some to play a little bit of center field late last year, early this year, Christian Pache, and also another outfielder named Bryce Elder, and give the Yankees all 3 of those prospects, the Yankees would be willing to trade Aaron Judge. Now, if that rumor is true, I would love to see it, because Aaron Judge and Ronald Acuna both in the outfield would be great. Ronald Acuna right now is the only Braves player that's putting up better numbers than Aaron Judge is, and I would take Aaron Judge over Adrianza or Almonte or Arcia or any of those guys. So I would love to see it, but I just want to put it out there that that's in the rumor mill, but I really don't think it's going to happen. Now, I do think the Yankees do need to look to the future, because you're terrible, you're awful, and you're not winning with Judge and Stanton and Cole and Chapman. But now they just signed Garrett Cole to a long contract in the offseason, so he's not going anywhere. But they've had Judge and Stanton for a few years now, so they may as well go ahead and trade one of them. And if I personally had the choice of getting Judge or Stanton, I would choose Judge, because Judge does play just about every single day, whereas Giancarlo Stanton never does. He gets hurt all the time. If he could stay healthy, he'd have 1,000 career home runs. He just can't stay healthy. So if I had to pick one and I was the general manager or anything like that in the Major League Baseball front office, I would choose Aaron Judge. I do hate to see Kyle Muller go if that rumor is true, only because we know Bryce Wilson's terrible. Kyle Wright is terrible. Touki Toussaint is terrible. And Mike Soroka's going to be injury prone. So if you trade Kyle Muller, that looks like you're actually losing a really good future starting pitcher. But the Braves need outfield help, and the Braves need offense bad, because right now, after Acuna, Freeman, and Albies, and sometimes Riley, but Riley's very streaky. But 5 through 8 right now in the lineup are just flat out. I mean, it's a minor league lineup. So they do need batting help bad and outfield help bad. So I would love to see it. So if you hear those rumors, remember, you heard it here first. But let's just hope the Braves keep continuing to play the way they're playing right now. Until their loss last night, they were only 1 game below 500 at 41-42 after going 4-2 last week. If they can go 4-2 again this week, when Sunday comes around and we reach the All-Star break, the Braves will be 45-44, and it would be the first time all year long that they've been above 500. But now, since they lost last night, and they're going to have to win 4 of the remaining 5 games this week. So hopefully they can do it. 3.5 games out. They're in second place now because the Nationals looked pitiful over the weekend against the Dodgers, but about everybody looks pitiful against the Dodgers. So you're back in second place. So now the only team in front of you is the Mets. 3.5 games out is very, very reachable if you can put together a 7 or 8 game winning streak. But the Braves just have not done that this year, but I'm not giving up yet. I still say they win the division. Don't forget, tomorrow's video is going to be our weekly top 10 countdown, and it's going to be top 10 all-time biggest college football blowout games. If you have any thoughts on that, please feel free to let me know in the comments section. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day. How do we know that chiropractors have a good sense of humor? They spend all their life cracking people up. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.